Thanks for visiting us here at Cooking with G Dubs, and I'm your host, G Dubs. And today what I'm going to show you is how I make the Epis, or all of the seasonings that I use. Again, this is all keto friendly and is very healthy. The thing is that with this Epis process, it takes a while to prep everything, but once you have everything in place and you put it all together, it'll save you a ton of time. So what I have for you is I have green bell peppers, I have red onion sliced up, I have fresh thyme, I have also fresh rosemary, I have cloves, I also have yellow bell peppers, red bell peppers, I also have oregano, this is basil, I have some fresh ginger, and also some fresh turmeric, fresh garlic, and here, one of my favorites, I have fresh cilantro, and also what I have here is some fresh Italian parsley. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend them all together, and I'm also going to use balsamic vinegar, and I'm also going to use olive oil, and on some of them I'm going to use ranch salad dressing. So you'll see when we combine all of these flavors together, it gives a really nice, rich flavor, and the seasonings are absolutely fantastic, and it's going to help season up your meals. So many people like to use powders, but I don't. So what I do is instead of using the powder, I got the fresh ingredients from all the powders, put them all together so I can be able to create the Epis. All right, without further ado, let's get started. YouTube. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start putting everything together. So what I have is what I like to start off with is some olive oil. So what I'm going to use is this olive oil. I'm going to pour some in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. That's how I measure. Okay. And now what we're going to do next is we're going to start off with adding a little bit of onions, and you can do different ratios of the same thing. Use a little bit of onions, bell peppers, and we'll take a little bit of the thyme. And you can use different ratios of it, because different ratios will give you different strengths of different seasonings, and it'll make it all delicious. Now what I'm going to do is take some of the rosemary, put it in there. Take some of my yellow peppers, a few of the yellow ones. I'm going to take some of the cloves, pinch of cloves in here. Take some of the basil, a few of the leaves of the fresh basil. I'm going to take some of the oregano. And I'm going to take a few garlic, a pinch of ginger, and a couple of the fresh turmeric. And you got to be careful of the turmeric, because when you take the skin off of it, it'll stain your hands, so you have to use gloves when you're peeling it and prepping it, all right? Just a little FYI. Now I'm going to take a healthy portion of my cilantro. We just stuff it in there. Take some of the parsley. Take all of it. Again, and stuff it in here. And then what I'm going to do is take some of the balsamic vinegar. In here. The way I do it, I don't necessarily use a particular formula, because it all depends, because each one that I make is a little bit different, and I'm going to show you why. And now I'm going to take a little bit of water, pour it in here to liquefy it a little bit. Not too much water. And this water I use, I think about a quarter cup of water. Now I'm gonna take it, put it in my blender, and then I start off slow, and then I go up high, and I let it run for a little while so that it'll liquefy. Remember the containers I have? These are containers that we saved specifically for this. Now, look at what we have. And I have my Epis, my season. Real simple. And what you can do that'll help you make this Epis really nice is you could add less water or you could add more water. So the way Haitians do it is they don't add any water. They just have all of the fresh herbs, put it together, and they form a paste. And in Spanish, they use this very similar, they call it sofrito. And it's very similar. And in different countries use different variations of the same thing, but at the end of the day, it comes with the same result. So now let's make another one. Same way, I'm going to take some of the olive oil as a base. Then what I'm going to do, take some green peppers, take some onions, again, take some basil, so that's thyme, and we can take some rosemary, leaves. This time I'm going to skip the peppers and I'm just going to use just the parsley and the cilantro. Put this all together. Then take some garlic, some of the garlic in here. Throw some of the turmeric in here. So this is really good. It's an anti-inflammatory. And also put some ginger, a couple pieces of ginger. And this time what I'm going to do is use some ranch salad dressing. Put a little bit of ranch salad dressing in here. Not much, just a few squirts. And then add a little bit of water. And then we blend it all together again. Now with this Epis, we have a little bit of a different flavor. And also it has a different color. Because of the ranch dressing, it lightened it up some. So now we have a different type of Epis. So what you can do, YouTube, is you could be able to mix and play with the different fresh herbs that you have, and each one is going to give you a different flavor. And only thing you'll have to do when you're using it for your cooking is you use a few tablespoons of this and then you add your salt, and you're done. And then also what you could do is after you use your Epis, then you could be able to add some, for extra seasonings, you could use it for your barbecue sauce, add barbecue sauce, you could use hot peppers. What some cultures do is when they're making the Epis, they also add habanero peppers to it to give it a little kick. What you could also do is if you like to give it a little kick, you could be able to put cayenne pepper in there. Give it a kick. But what I would suggest is you just put the basic seasonings together, do that while you're seasoning your meats and your different foods, and then at that point, you then add your habanero peppers or your cayenne pepper or whatever you want to do to make it spicy. But this is the basic base that we use to cook all of our meals, and once you have this and you put it into a container, it'll last you for many, many weeks or months, depending on how often you cook. But again, this is how I make the Epis, and I wanted to share that with you, YouTube. Thank you for visiting Cooking with G Dubs, and I'm your host, G Dubs. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.